Ime, you guys had a lot of trouble in the paint defensively again. What do you think is playing into that
You said in the paint?
in the paint? Yeah.
A little bit of everything, honestly. We had a few different coverages. Transition, they got out a little bit for a team that's not playing at a fast pace. But honestly, guarding the ball individually one-on-one, too many drives. Our weak side isn't coming across. Things that we've been working on and harping on, I'm sorry, just didn't show tonight. We got a guy standing right at the opposite block, and he doesn't take a step and just watches somebody lay it up. So lack of effort and focus helped defense as a team was very poor tonight.
That does seem to beg the question, if it's something that you've been working on, these guys aren't doing it, how do you get them to do it?
Yeah, continually drilling it, showing the film. It probably is our weakest area through training camp, through preseason. Our weak side activity and awareness. A lot of times you just get caught standing next to our man, watching him and not taking a step and helping. So we can't just always rely on individual one-on-one defense against good players. We got to have a full team behind it. And like I said, it's one of our weakest areas. We've addressed it and shown them film and continue to do the same.
I mean, so we've talked about, like, offensively, you want movement, offensively, move the ball, move yourself.
Yeah.
Guys aren't moving off the ball. Defensively, they're not moving and helping. So it's a lot of standing around. And how do you break that habit? I mean, that seems to be like a big problem consistently now.
Yeah, drill, film, continue to work on it in the time that we do have practice. We had guys in and out, but that's not an excuse for those basic letdowns and meltdowns right there. That's any good team that wants to be a good defensive team has to have rotations behind it. But our intensity and focus wasn't there from the start. You could see it in the first quarter. Honestly, from shoot around, where I got on them pretty hard for lack of focus, and it carried into the game tonight.
Looks like you spent most of the fourth quarter in drop coverage on the hair roll and field pick and rolls. How much of that was just that you thought that was right for that personnel versus just feeling like the switching wasn't working and you had to change it up?
Yeah, we got hurt a little bit in the first half with them, getting downhill to your guys' point. I think Dinwiddie got to the basket a few times. Beal did as well. So we wanted to stay connected with our guys. I felt we did okay at times, but too disconnected at times also. We feel good when Rob's in there. He can do both, switch and be back, up initially and then drop and contest. But they made some tough floaters and runners. And Holiday, I think, hit a few himself. But felt like the first half we got driven too much, so we dropped back into that a little bit and got back in it. But they hit some big shots at the end in their pick and rolls.
You went with just 9 guys tonight with Kane there and on the bench. Or was that just more of a matchup thing, or you kind of get a more of a tighter rotation moving forward?
A little bit of both. Jabari played well last game, and we wanted to go bigger when we took Grant out. But in general, I mean, it's tougher to balance the lineup as far as Peyton not playing when you have Dennis coming off the bench. He started the last few games, and so we had Peyton in the rotation there. But with everybody back and healthy, he was a little limited tonight as far as that. But guys played well overall. The bench, struggled in the first half, but got a good boost from Dennis. Just got to have better effort overall from everybody who gets the run.
The Friday game against Toronto, you kind of attributed to guys being tired and kind of a step slow. And then you guys come off that huge win at Charlotte, and then you said you jumped them at shoot around for being lacking focus. Why is this team's kind of focus going up and down, in and out so early?
Hard to explain, to your point, this early in the season. As I keep mentioning, guys, we're in and out, and we've got some different lineups. But coming off a huge win, although it was overtime, I don't feel our minutes were too high, and then we had a day off yesterday, so we had a chance to rejuvenate. But for whatever reason, they were lacking in intensity and focus this morning. I told them they're going to get your ass kicked tonight. You come with that focus in the game, and for 3 quarters, we played the same way. Waited to get down 15 and, started to play with the effort that we have in the other 4 games. So it's disappointing. We'll have a chance at it again on Saturday. If we feel we bring the right intensity, we'll be okay. But you got to show up every night. Can't just pick and choose and show up and think you're going to beat people.
Is there something to rallying? A couple times you rally to get within 1, and then boom, they respond with a quick 7-0 run. Is there something about the fatigue factor, or what is it like? The last couple of games when you're you get close and then boom, they push you back again.
What I told him in the timeout, we try to make the home run plays when we get back in it. It happened several times, getting to 1 or 3 points and then try, careless turnover or gamble on defense. And so I called a quick timeout in the third quarter and said, do what got you here and play the way you did, trust your teammates. We didn't move the ball well in the second half. We had 14 assists at halftime and finished with 18. So it's our lowest of the year. I think guys were trying to do it a little bit on their own. And I said, play together. We know we can get the open looks and don't try to rely on yourself. Do what got you here.
Hey, Ime, you mentioned the bench. Just what stood out to you with Dennis Schroeder, 22 points for him coming off the bench for you guys?
Yeah, his pace. He upped the pace, increased the pace as soon as he got in tonight. What he's done in the last 3 games, all season actually, just more so making shots in these last 3 games when he started the last 2 on the road. But his pace changes our tempo, changes the team, and we get out and get much more easy baskets. So he's finding his groove overall. Got to get a little bit more off the bench, but you can't just say that because some of our starters struggled as well.
There were times last year when these guys kind of got caught waiting for the big runs and got used to trying to make these big comebacks. Now, 3 of them, you guys completed one really close. How do you avoid kind of being in those predicaments and not having guys feel like, oh, we'll make our run and stop me before it gets to that point?
Have the proper respect for your opponent from the start. Don't wait to get down. I told them before the game, we've had double-digit leads in every game this season so far other than today. But then we'll lose that lead or get down and then start playing again. So it's discouraging that we can't hold the lead, but also the fact that we are not playing with the right effort to stay in the game until we get down. So some habit we definitely got to break. Like you said, maybe some from last year carrying over, but we got to get out to better starts. And like I said, it looked like we were in mud from the start from the first quarter. Defended actually okay, but only scored 19 points. So it wasn't really great offensively to start the game.
Jaylen has been in a pattern of a good game, an overtime, and then struggling afterwards. Same thing tonight. Is that a function of his knee? Is that a function of coming back from COVID and taking longer to recover? Do you have a sense of what causes that?
No, it's a tough one. I see it as well. I'm trying to ramp him up during the game, pump him up to get going. But the contrast of, some of those previous games, especially Charlotte and the New York game, and then the way you see him come out tonight is kind of mind-boggling. But it could be a number of things. He was out for 10 days, as you mentioned. Was banged up with the knee, but just got to find the juice from the start, and something that I can help him with, put him in some positions to get going. But when I see that, got to jump on it early and really help him get going.
When it's in terms of Jaylen, when it's noticeable like that, how do you kind of do it during the game to get him going? Because it seemed like tonight he was just lethargic.
Yeah, he just call certain plays to get him in certain spots. Try to limit him trying to do it all by himself and feel like he has to get himself going. Get him an easy shot. We called the walk away. He got a mid-range pull up there and trying to get him going there, especially when Jason went out in the fourth quarter. So a lot of different ways to do it, but just when you see it from the get-go, really grab him and talk to him and tell him, you got to carry the load tonight, especially when Jason's out. But calling the sets, giving him certain plays and getting him in the comfort zone, maybe some free throws, that type of thing will help. Because he did obviously start out very slow tonight.
Brought to you by your New England Ford dealers, who are celebrating Ford Truck Month with great deals on Ranger, Super Duty, and the redesigned F-150. Ford Trucks, built Ford tough.